If you're not involved in the SSA and you're in storage, I don't know how you're operating.
Why even be in the business if you don't have the advantages of what the SSA offers?
They're nuts if they don't join.
I just think, who doesn't want to help someone be successful?
Welcome back to What's Up SSA, Episode 2. I'm your host, Erin Lightfoot.
And I am Sarah Kautzman. I'm your producer, and this is the official podcast of the Self-Storage Association. What are we talking about today, Erin?
Sarah, so much. We had the opportunity to interview 3 SSA employees to talk a little bit about what they are each doing to protect, benefit, and help our members on a daily basis. First and foremost, we spoke to Joe Doherty, our EVP and Chief Legal Officer. He went through some of the California legislative hot topics. He gives his take on recently passed bills, the notorious lame duck governors that we've certainly dealt with, and how each of those are going to impact our industry in 2026.
And while it may seem like it, Joe was not standing next to a jet engine during during your conversation. Just be kind to us. We're still working out all the kinks, but what Joe has to say is so valuable. It honestly, it doesn't even matter. You just don't even hear it after a while because it's such a great conversation about what's going on in California. Did you already mention the webinar?
I did not. This was really a preview and a sneak peek into the webinar that we have coming May 12th. It is free to our members and to anybody in the industry. And this webinar is going to focus on the tough legislative issues facing California. Our SSA lobbyist representing California, Naomi Padron, will be there with us as well. Not only will they give us an update, but they're also going to take Q&A. So if you haven't registered, I hope you do register for that right away.
Yeah, I'll put that link in our show notes so people can find it easily.
Thank you.
Erin, yeah, you also spoke to Carol Franklin, and she is SSA's Director of Meetings and Vendor Support. What did you guys talk about?
That's right. Carol gave us an inside look into the events that she handles and manages, and truly that is the national events. She talked about ways to maximize your display, best tips for registering, and really just some of the quick tips you need as a vendor in our industry to succeed at the trade show, assuming you register in time, which we cover as well.
Yes, and there's a new way to exhibit at our shows that is not just the standard booth. So definitely make sure to listen to that. People have been asking for this option for a long time. So we're excited to launch that. And we're still not done. To close out, you spoke with Julia Bankard, and she is our Director of Membership.
Yes, I had the opportunity to interview Julia Bankard, our Director of Membership. For those of you that haven't had the opportunity to meet Julia yet, she's been out and about with us at our national events, and she was at ISS with us. Julia is a great asset to the membership team. She brings fresh ideas and just a whole new set of eyes to membership itself. With that, she has started her new Success in 60. These are videos and snippets available for our members that are going to help regardless of where you are in your journey, whether you're a vendor, an owner, a new owner, a site manager. We're working on content that will fit every single member. So I'm excited to share with our listeners what Julia had to say.
Yep, and she also has a fantastic tip on how to save a bundle of money on SSA Fall Conference registration. So make sure to make it all the way to Julia's conversation.
Agreed. Everybody likes to save money. I have been in this industry longer than I'll admit, and there is one common theme amongst our members. They like to save money. So please listen to what Julia has to say to make sure if you plan to join us in Vegas, you are joining us for that super saver discount. Julia will get into those details.
Yep. All right. Should we get into it?
I think it's time. Let's do it. Hello, Joe Doherty.
Hello, Erin King. Erin Lightfoot, excuse me.
Woo!
Going deep pull there. Hello, Erin Lightfoot.
To be fair, I still probably am known as Erin King, but yes, it is Erin Lightfoot. Fun fact, the next name change, I'm just going plain Erin. There will be no additional name after that. Well, Joe, welcome to What's Up SSA. I appreciate you taking a few minutes with us. Here's a fun fact since the last time we met. You and I had the opportunity to chat in San Antonio. We had a great conversation about SB 709, which is a bill in California. And because I'm not tech savvy, big surprise, we didn't hit record. So we lost that audio. And what I'd like to do is jump back into that conversation with you, Joe, talk about what's going on out west. State Bill 709. Give us the update, give us the background, give us all the tea.
Yeah, so I'll start with the background, and it's always great to talk to you for a second time, Erin. So I'm glad you didn't record it because we get to chat again. So Senate Bill 709 passed last year, and just a little bit of background on where it started and where it ended up. So it started as a rent control bill. And as I like to say, people have heard the expression, if you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. If you're a legislator, everything looks like a bill. And this bill came from a legislator who was an aggrieved self-storage tenant. And she filed a bill to impose rent control in the self-storage industry. And as the folks in California know, rent control in the residential area has been a long time issue in California, and it was an effort to pull that rent control over to self-storage. We were able to, and I'll cut to the chase here because the long version would take me days to tell, but cutting to the chase, we were able to negotiate with the bill sponsor and with the committee chair to get that bill down to a disclosure bill. And it does not have any rent control, but it has additional consumer disclosures that need to be made. They need to be made on the first page of the rental agreement, and they need to be made prominently. That bill took effect on January 1st, 2026 for new self-storage tenants on or after that date. So it's an ongoing education process to make sure that owners are complying with that new law. And as far as we're hearing so far, we're actually getting I know people didn't want anything to pass, of course, and that
Right.
was the position we had, but with it now in place, I think we're able to say that it's working out reasonably well, and that the owners and operators are complying and not seeing anything detrimental come from it.
Well, Joe, I don't know about you, but if we're not able, regardless of what we're trying to do, if we're not able to get what we want done, a nice compromise is a good place to end at. So
That's right. Yep.
when you consider what could have been versus where we landed, it sounds like an ideal, if you will, scenario for compromise.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, I know that this issue is important to a lot of our members. We have a significant amount of members out west and in California. I think this is a great time. For those listening now, Joe will be hosting a webinar on May 12th with our lobbyist in California. Her name is Naomi Padron. Joe, talk to us a little bit about what we can expect on that webinar with Naomi on May 12th.
So Naomi is my second favorite resident of California, and Naomi has represented the self-storage industry for, probably 8 or so years. We've had a good long relationship with Naomi, and before Naomi, her colleague Sherry McHugh represented the industry, and they've done really well for us. They have great relationships at the state capitol, all the way up to the governor's office. And we're excited to talk with Naomi not only about 709 and making sure that people are compliant with that, but also looking forward in terms of what's happening in this 2026 legislative session. It's California, it's an election year, there's no shortage of major issues that are affecting a whole host of businesses, including our industry. Fingers crossed we have not seen anything specifically targeting our industry, but there are a number of bills out there that are broader and potential attacks on the business community, including on various pricing models. So I'm excited to have Naomi share that with the audience, and excited to take questions from the audience as well, and have a real learning opportunity.
Talk about getting value out of your membership. Members will have an opportunity to speak directly to you and our lobbyist in California, who has such a history with us. I think that, my goodness, that just paid for your membership for at least 1 year, I would think. But, let me ask you this, my wild card question that I just thought of. Our governor here in California, Mr. Newsom, this will be a wrap for him, much like Jerry Brown once upon a time. There was no going back. And so during that period when Jerry Brown was signing some of our bills, there was a little bit of uncertainty because he had nothing to lose. He could veto, he could sign, it wasn't really going to matter. Do we suspect that there might be some uncertainty with our current governor and signing or vetoing bills down the road as he ends his term soon and there's no going back whether he wanted to or not?
Yeah, that's a great point, Erin. The difference between former Governor Brown and Governor Newsom is that Governor Brown was he was a lame duck in the absolute sense of that. He was not, his political career was done. But we all know that Governor Newsom has broader political ambitions, and it'll be interesting to see. And he's had a lot of tension between what does he want to do with, say, AI, for example, obviously a major industry in California, in Silicon Valley, versus the other side of that of wanting to seem like a consumer protection advocate. And so I think we're going to continue to see that tension. And he's unpredictable in that way. There have been some bills that he's signed and you're like, wonder why he signed that one. And then other ones that he vetoes and you say, oh, I would have thought he had signed that one. So we just don't know where he's going to go, and we'll get into this in more depth in the webinar, but the real focus this legislative session is on all things AI, from how you price products to how you conduct workplace investigations and everything in between. So it's just going to be really interesting to see exactly where he comes out, and actually where the legislature comes out on this, probably more importantly, because it's these bills, before they get to the governor, they obviously have to get through the legislature, and the legislature, they're up for election as well. So
yes,
a lot of moving parts.
I'm excited to watch that show, if you will, as a California resident, and see where that takes us. Well, listen, it is always a pleasure to speak with you. I know you're busy. I know you're busy preparing for that webinar on May 12th with Naomi Padron and our members in California. So we hope to see all of our members sign up and join us for that, Joe. I know I'll be speaking with you again. Be well, and please let us know how we can help you.
Thanks so much, Erin. Great chatting with you.
What's Up SSA is brought to you by the 2026 SSA Fall Conference and Trade Show. Our biggest show of the year is returning to Aria Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, September 8th through the 11th, for the self-storage industry's highest caliber gathering of education, networking, and vendors. Registration and the Aria room block are open for SSA Fall Conference under the Events and Education tab at selfstorage.org.
Welcome, Carol Franklin, to What's Up SSA. While I saw you in San Antonio, I think we were all still riding the high of Allegiant Stadium and the Aria Hotel and Casino, which you are getting ready to bring our members back to. I saw that the announcement went out for SSA Fall Vegas exhibitor sign up. How did that go?
It is sold out for our 10x10 traditional 10x10 booths, but we introduced tabletops this year, so those are still available.
Talk to me about what that experience would be like for a vendor, tabletop versus the booth.
Sure. So our tabletop booths are a little bit smaller footprint than our 10x10 booths. They include just a high bistro table, 2 bar stools, and an ID sign. So there's no drape. You won't have a full 10x10 space, but it does still allow you to exhibit in our hall. I know some exhibitors have told you they don't need a traditional 10x10 space, so this allows them to still participate with a smaller footprint, and it's a little bit less expensive than it would a 10x10 booth would be.
I love this idea. It's almost like a networking station in a way that allows you to keep your brand relevant, be a part of the fold, maybe not spend as much money, but not miss out on the opportunity.
Absolutely. And if price has kept you from exhibiting in the past, this is a great opportunity to join us this year in Vegas.
I love that our team is constantly being creative. We understand the demand for our vendors, and some folks don't get in, or maybe it's that price point that you mentioned. So what a creative way to make sure everybody has a spot.
Yeah, and I also want to thank our vendor committee for bringing this idea to us a couple of years ago. This is the first time we've been able to implement it. So we're really excited that we get to listen to our vendor members and try and implement as much as we can.
I think the vendor committee is such a valuable portion of what you guys do in terms of executing our events, because it allows the vendors to truly be a part of mapping the future of what the shows look like. And we do take that feedback seriously.
We do. I think that it's a good time to get some one-on-one time with our team. and also let them know that we're not just blowing smoke. We're listening to them. We're taking their ideas into consideration, and we're doing the best that we can to implement what we can.
Oh, Carol, you've been a wonderful addition to our meetings team, and I think
thanks.
all of our vendors would agree. So, speaking of vendors, what are some best practices, maybe a couple quick tips you would give our vendors both during the sign-up process as well as the setup process?
Sure. During sign up, I would say first, whitelist our email. Our constant contact email does tend to be flagged as spam on a lot of IT servers. So that's the very first thing I would do is make sure you whitelist that with your IT team so that you get our emails. And we can add as many contacts to that list from your company as you want. So keep from just having one person being the gatekeeper of booth space and getting that application in. I would add however many people you want, and we'll send it to everyone, and just get that application in as soon as you possibly can. On site, I would say make sure that you have something fun, maybe something interactive in your booth to attract people to come. A lot of people are just kind of like walking by. It might be their first time being at a trade show. They don't really know what they need. So not being on your phone, having something fun in your booth, having even something as simple as having a smile on your face and being at the top of the booth instead of in the back so that you can catch people as soon as they walk by are really just quick and easy ways to get people in your booth.
Good tips. I think I mentioned this on another episode, but when I walk by a booth and I just see a dude doing this, sitting in a chair, probably going to keep walking.
Yeah, it's kind of intimidating because you're seeing so many people walk by, and if you don't give that welcoming vibe to someone, they're not going to stop.
No.
I remember years ago, someone told me even if you compliment someone's shirt or their shoes or something kind of to engage them, they're more likely to stop and talk to you than if you just are giving the stare down to each other as they're walking by.
That's right. And then I'll encourage all of our vendors to make sure they're reading the rules and regulations so that we're not blocking anybody going too high. Because unfortunately, when those things happen, I get dispatched to the trade show floor.
Yes, be a good neighbor. We always want people to be a good neighbor. We do not want Hurricane Erin to come through and tell you to take anything down.
No, we don't. It's not going to be fun for anybody. Carol, anything else on the radar for you and your team as you're coming down off San Antonio and preparing for Vegas? Anything our folks should know?
We do have new sponsorships available for Vegas, so if you aren't able to get in with a booth, sponsorships are also an option. We have some new ones and some good old ones that are always on the table as well. So I would say look at our perspectives. Even if you aren't able to get a booth, maybe you can have a presence as a sponsorship, and we would love to have you.
Would you say there's an underrated sponsorship here? For example, I feel like SSA 101 is a great opportunity to get your company in front of people.
Ooh, that's a good one. I do agree. SSA 101 is a really good one. Anything with signage, really, at ARIA, because our venue is stacked, any type of signage you have will have really great visibility. We also have these wayfinders that we're launching in ARIA this year. It's kind of like what you see in a mall where people can go, they can find a booth, get directions to that booth.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then sponsors also are able to have like a rotating ad when the finder's not in use. So if someone's just walking by, they could see your branding as well. So I think that's a really good one that we just added this year.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, Carol, it is a pleasure meeting with you. I know you're busy. I know you've probably got 7,000 emails, 100 of which were from me from Mountain West last week asking when you were going to open up booth space. Thank you for helping our vendors at Mountain West last week.
Of course.
Always a pleasure having you, and I look forward to seeing you again on this What's Up SSA a little bit closer to Vegas.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Welcome back, What's Up SSA. Julia Banker, Director of Membership. What's up, girl?
Hello, hello. What is going on?
Thank you for being here. I feel like I just saw you 5 minutes ago at the ISS trade show, which had a lot of fun. We met a lot of our members there, which was exciting.
Yes, ISS is always exciting. Lots of SSA members at ISS, so it's always good to connect.
Agreed. Important to be there. Well, I imagine that you're a busy woman today because the 2025 SSA Fall Conference and Trade Show in Las Vegas registration is open.
Yes, it's one of those little secrets. It's snuck in there on the SSA Weekly, but yeah, it's open, it's live, and we need you all to register early, get those Super Saver discounts. Take advantage of your membership. Yes.
That's right. That's what I wanted to touch on. I was looking at some of the pricing and registration options, and it looks like our members can take advantage of an amazing savings if they register now before July 31st for that Super Saver discount.
Yes, yes, they can save around $700 off the on a registration rate, the normal on-site rate. So, yes,
And
do
just
it now.
think what you can do with that $700 savings in Las Vegas. Just immediately to the craps table, immediately to the roulette table. You might double your money. Yeah.
I was thinking more like come buy some publications from us, things like that. But yes, that too.
All right. Well, if any of you have met me, my idea tracks. So, well, that's exciting. I'm really looking forward to Las Vegas. I was able to chat with Carol Franklin earlier in the podcast about some of the vendor practices, best tips. And as you know, that trade show sold out in 24 hours.
Wow.
Again. I know.
Right?
I feel like their phones catch fire as soon as the registration for the vendors opens up. But the main reason I'm happy to have you here with me today is I wanted to talk a little bit about your special project, if you will, Success in 60 SSA on Demand. I'm really excited. I think this has been a vacancy in our member benefit platform for far too long. Tell us what we can expect from Success in 60.
Yeah, so Success in 60 it's just information, the way that we deliver content to our members, so that they can pick it up however they want to receive it, right? So it's going to be distributed everywhere. Like it's going to be through our SSA Weekly, it's going to be on our website. It's just another way for you to consume that content that we're giving you in like little digestible snippets.
I love that. And
right?
Success in 60 is geared towards all of our members, whether you're a vendor, an owner operator, a site manager. It's my understanding you're truly looking for content that will apply to everybody.
Yeah, we're going all over the board with this. So we're going to pull out like what we think is relevant, timing wise and, with things going on in the industry. And then we're just going to pull out 60-second snippet and just talk about it a little bit more, give you where to find more information on it or just give you a little bit more detail on it. Basically, the premise behind it is to be more helpful to our members and get them the content they need and in a different way to consume that content. So.
Again, something that we should have been doing a long time ago. I'm excited about it. I know our members are going to be excited about it. When we talk about that content in the 60 seconds, can our members expect both industry relevant content as well as SSA content in terms of maximizing your benefits, along with here's a quick trend in industry technology? Is that sort of what I'm understanding here?
Yes and yes. So the first ones that I've done have been more geared towards like, we had one release for our vendors, giving them the tip to make sure they whitelist our marketing email so that they'll get that prospectus. The next one is going to be about the Super Saver discounts to, give that nudge to people to make sure they register early. But yeah, I mean, down the pipeline, we got industry tips and tricks from new to the industry all the way to people that, are a little bit more knowledgeable on that. We're just happy to help our members in any way we can.
I love that. We're a one-stop shop for every level, regardless of your member type. I hope that I get tapped to help you with any sort of vendor Success in 60, because I'd like to remind our vendors that when registering for a conference, please register the person attending and not the admin or a placeholder. Please register the attending person. That would be very helpful for all of us.
Yes, and that's one of the reasons we're doing it, because we've heard from not just our vendors, but from our members. We've sent out surveys. We're in conversations on a daily basis, especially you, Erin, out in the field all the time. But we've heard your feedback and we know that you want information about certain things at certain times. It's the full gamut. Yeah, from vendors to onboarding our new members to welcoming the new to the industry. So we're going to do a little bit of everything.
Well, selfishly, this will be great for me because I can't tell you how many times I've answered a phone call in an airport and somebody has a question about how to register or do something. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not in front of my computer right now. Now I can direct them to a video or say,
Yes.
hit this bank of videos and you'll find what you're looking for. So this is great
Exactly.
information.
Yes, and if we get that done, then we've done a great job.
I agree. Now, lastly, I wanted to touch on another great thing that you've helped create here at the SSA since you've joined us is the member zone. Not only do we have a member zone in the SSA magazine, but we're implementing it on site at the trade show floor, which I love. So how has that experience been for you? Has it truly given you an opportunity to meet more members? What's that look like for you?
Yeah, no, I'm excited about it just because, again, selfishly, I'm sensing a theme here. Selfishly, I am new to the self-storage industry, so it gives me an opportunity not only to connect with our members, but to learn from them, right? So like, and secretly what I'm looking for is what do they need from us? So
Yes.
again, yeah, it's just I'm able to connect with them. I'm able to, see them front and center and, just feel the vibe. That trade show is amazing. So I
You
love it.
make an excellent point. I think that you can only absorb so much or learn so much from the multiple SSA staff members that sort of bark in your ear and tell you everything we think you need to know, but really getting out there and engaging with your members, which are your customers, is what's going to stick and what's going to help you grow and learn more about them versus me trying to download 10 years of information into your ear.
As much as I love your expertise, Erin, I know our members are experts at what they do and they're doing it every
Yes,
day as well. So I
that's right.
appreciate both ends of that.
No, we got to hear from them. We can't help them unless we know them. And I think that is the big point about the member zone. And it's
Yes.
interesting when people come over, some people are shy about giving feedback. They feel bad or, they don't want to insult anybody or whatever the issue is, but give the feedback to us so that we can do a better job.
Exactly. Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Plus, between me, you, Leslie, Julie, and Stephanie, we're a pretty outgoing group. If anything, our friendliness might be overwhelming and intimidating, but just come on over. We all want to hug you. We all want to chat with you. We all want to learn more about you.
Always smiling faces. That's a good thing.
I know. I agree. Well, I know that internally, things we can't talk about on this episode, we're working hard to upgrade the member zone and continue to make it better and a place where members can hang out, take a quick rest, chat with us as they're moving through the trade show. So looking forward to seeing what additions we bring to the member zone
Yeah.
in
Can't wait
September.
to hang out with our members. That's basically what we're trying to do is just hang out with you guys.
It is. Please come over, talk to us. Also, selfishly excited to see you in Las Vegas again, too,
Of
because you're
course.
always a good time. Yeah, selfishly. Anything else that you want to make sure our listeners on this episode hear from you today? Or did we
Yeah,
cover it?
this is just going to be like a little sneak into what's coming down the pipeline. A little bit of what's up SSA coming down the pipeline, but we do have some exciting videos, on-demand videos to add to that library that we're talking about. We're trying to do these little success in 60 that are quick snippets, but we also have learning content coming down the pipeline for you all. And these are going to be for you, our members, by our members. So, you're hearing
Yes.
from the people that are actually out there doing the work. So I'm excited for that. So
I
stay
just,
tuned.
I think I'm showing my age because I swear I heard you say for us, by us, but we won't. We won't get into the fact that I'm old enough to think of 90s brands.
Um,
So we'll leave that alone. You nailed the value, though, for our members, by our members.
exactly.
The folks that can truly teach. And that's what this industry is all about. Going back to the title of our first episode, we truly are an open kimono industry. And our members want to help other members. So thank you for fostering those connections and making sure we're actually getting it done and not just talking about it.
Yeah, no, that's my job. Not only that, but I love to talk to members. I love hearing from them. I love just learning. So, secretly it's like, so I'm just having a conversation with people. Okay, I could do that. So, yes.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Call Julia. She will take your call and be more than happy to chat with you. In fact, I already hear the phones ringing. Just kidding. Just kidding. Well, thank you, Julia Bankert. I appreciate you being here. You are our director of membership. any of our members listening right now, feel free to reach out to Julia at info@selfstorage.org. Give us a call, send us an email. We're here to help. Julia, until next time, we'll see you soon.
Bye.
This episode of What's Up SSA was hosted by Erin Lightfoot and produced by Sarah Kautzman. All content in this podcast is owned by the Self-Storage Association, the only U.S. not-for-profit organization serving as the official trade association of the self-storage industry. To access member and industry resources or to become a member, please visit selfstorage.org.
I love the sound of a roll-up door in the morning.